Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening from all over the world. This is the Global Talkative Series. I'm your host, Lanre Ajayi, and this is a global platform where we've come to, rub minds, talk to one another, especially, during this pandemic. And it's always my honor to have my special guests coming from all over the world to rub minds and then to share their experience, how they've been able to, how they're living and how they're coping all through this pandemic period. And today I have, according to our audience all over the world, Irene just said the queen is ready. So we are coming live from Facebook and also on YouTube and on Instagram all at the same time. Thank you for those who are joining us right now. Naveen Dominic, thank you for joining. Irene Joe, thank you for joining. We appreciate
hey,
you.
Naveen, Irene, baby girl.
We appreciate you guys. And then if you have any question, feel free to post a question on social media, on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, and then we'll do our best to answer the questions. And I'm just going to bring in our guests into the studio on Instagram Live now. Welcome, Andrea. Thank you for joining us as well on Instagram. We appreciate you. Thank you, Naveen. So, Fina, you can just connect with us right now on Instagram. I sent you an invitation already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
I might need. Okay, here we go.
All right. So it's saying waiting a little bit, and then we're just gonna go right. Okay, good. This is
right.
Yeah. So if you're joining us
from the power of technology.
Yes, this is an amazing power of technology. We're reaching you live now, real time, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And like we do it on this show, I'm just going to give you a brief background information about our guests before we go into the questions and answers that has been sent in by our guests. And today's guest is no other person than Fina Brooks, the Canadian TV host, producer, and filmmaker. Now I've got a long list of bio. It's about 5 pages. So I'm gonna read some parts, read some of the credits, read some of the association awards, and then we'll go to the questions so as not to keep you waiting. And sorry for starting a little bit late. So I read the bio of our guest, Fina Brooks, a Nigerian-born Canadian filmmaker. This active, energetic, and community-minded filmmaker started out in Lagos, Nigeria, where she discovered her talent in the film and television industry. Her time spent with Swift Studios under the guidance and influence of Lloyd Weaver in Nigeria was a major influence for her work. She quickly moved up through the ranks from production assistant / makeup artist to associate producer. Even at a young age, Fina wanted to write, produce, and direct her own films. She was very involved in various projects in Nigeria, presenting in youth opinion programs on Nigerian Television Authority, NTA Lagos, Youth Scene, and acted in numerous television series such as soap opera Blossom, The Third Eye, the first detective series in Nigeria with Olu Jacobs, Mirror in the Sun, as well as acted in various Nigerian movies. She is one of the pioneers of Nollywood, the Nigerian movie industry. She has worked on many TV commercials and co-produced and featured commercials, such as the first Nikon Noga Hilton Hotel, Abuja television commercials. She wrote, produced, and directed Tommy Kimmitt's political campaign commercial for his presidential candidacy titled Bingo. Fina has featured in music videos with Blackie, Bang Belly, Mike Okri, Ogenekewe, and Shino Peters. Fina also featured and co-produced Daniel Wilson's Mr. Ragamuffin, Tomorrow music videos. After moving to Canada, Fina attended State Polytechnic, where she graduated with honors from the renowned cinema, television, stage, and radio program. Following graduation from SAIT, Fina entered the University of Calgary, earning a bachelor's degree in communication. Fina has worked at local television stations, including CTV, Global TV, City TV, Short TV, and NUTV. She's also a member of Calgary Society of Independent Filmmakers, CSIF, and Directors Guild of Canada, DGC. Now, in 2001, Fina started her own production company, Finchick Productions Incorporated, and has been involved in every aspect of filmmaking ever since. Now, I'm just going to go through some of all the information because there's a lot of this, Fina is a member of various professional associations and has been recognized for her work, including member of Nollywood, OSO Nigerian Entertainment, member of Alberta Media Production Industries Association, member of Canadian Society of Cinematographers, member of Toronto Film Industry Network, member of Alberta Independent Film and Video Production, member of Independent Black Filmmakers USA, member of Canadian Actors in Los Angeles, member of Hollywood North Film Industry, NAFLINCA Film Festival Award for Best Producer, NAFLINCA Festival Award for Best Screenwriter, Nigerian Ambassador Award for Best Film Director, our Bedrock Award for Best Film Producer, Black History Month Person of the Year 2013, Post-Secondary Academic Excellence Award. And she's a community champion, doing so much. The Fina Show host and produce is the host of Fina Show and producer on Omni TV, a magazine show that focuses on culture, food, fashion, entertainment, and lifestyle. AfroX TV creator, host and producer, 4 seasons, one of a kind weekly television series, broadcast across Canada, a show focusing on diverse topics and African Canadian culture. Missing Link writer, producer, and director, and multi-award-winning feature film about interconnected friendship, motherland. So many. If I keep reading, we're going to spend like 25 minutes reading. So I'm going to stop there. And we have a lot from Delish and Diney, Irene Job, a lot of folks are watching, and then it's been awesome. I have Dr. Yinka Marcos also saying good evening. Then I have we have a comedian in Nigeria by the name of Baba the Baba. It's also saying nice one, sir. Thank you very much. It's an awesome time to have you on the show. And today's topic is community engagement and social responsibility post COVID-19. So Fina, how are you doing?
Well, this is my new fashion. Staying loose, comfortable, and I can walk anywhere in my house. Bathroom, kitchen, living room, bedroom, everywhere. Everywhere is my office now. And this is my new fashion. I saw Irene's fashion the other day. I don't think I can do that. I'm just stepping it down. Stepping it down. My own is the comfort right now. I just want to be comfortable. If I'm restrained in my environment, don't restrict my fashion. So my fashion is loose. Stay loose and comfy.
So going through all those your profile, it's huge. It's a lot. You've done a lot. And let me ask you a question. How long have you been in Calgary, Canada? How long?
24 years, going on 25 years.
25 years, almost 25 years. That's a lot. And you've accomplished
in December this year, I'll be 25 years in Canada.
Wow. Now,
so 24 and a half years, really.
Wow. You've done so much within this short period of time. You've been living a purposeful life, impacting lives and touching lives. So the first question I have today is, what has kept you going since you started your career in TV and entertainment industry?
What has kept me going in the industry really is the passion I have in telling stories. And something happened when I was 18. Someone who I had no relationship with, had no idea, just met. And looking back, that person basically changed life.
Wow.
Professionally. And because he planted that thing in my head that I can tell stories. And make it so that I focus on telling the African story and telling the perspective that really concern us, because many a times we don't have our own people telling the stories. We have foreigners. Like now, there's a series on YouTube, African something about Africa. I'll think about it before
Okay.
this whole thing is done. That profiles all the the forerunners, the people that actually initiated independence for Africa, them Nkrumah, them Nyerere, all these people, right? The people that actually produced that series
Okay.
is the Chinese.
Wow. Doesn't make sense.
Check it out on YouTube. I've watched like 20 of the series. It just profiles each African leader. They profiled Obasanjo, they profiled Nkrumah, they profiled the Ghanaian president. What's his name now? Oh my gosh.
That's Nkrumah.
No, that's the first one. Then they profiled the other one that actually JJ Rollins. And they profiled all the major African leaders that actually made a big difference in Africa. And when I started watching them, I was a bit appalled to think that the producers of these events, of these shows, are not Africans. They have a few African people telling this, within the documentary.
Yeah.
But the originator of that series not African. And these are people telling our history. This is our history. How is it that someone out there from a different continent can tell your story better than you?
No way.
They were not there. They didn't experience it. Their parents never did. Their grandparents never did. Their great-great-grandparents never did. But here they are investing in telling our story. Where are the people in our communities and our countries in Africa telling the African story? Where are they?
That is
it's hurtful. I feel really hurt. It's very painful to think.
Yeah,
it's a big series. It's big. It's each episode is about 30 minutes or thereabout.
Wow.
I might even look. I might, before we finish, I might even check YouTube and just tell you what is African. It's the producers are CCCP. The Chinese something.
Yeah, I agree with you because when they see something that we're not seeing, they see an opportunity that we're not seeing.
That's right.
And it's so, I agree with you. We have so much resources and individuals with resources in Africa, in this industry, that could have done better or do this in their own way. Will you blame them?
I don't blame them. I'm just appalled that we cannot see the vision. We don't have the vision, and we can't see the fruitfulness, the usefulness, the reason why it is necessary to tell your story, to be the author of your history, not someone. It's just like they say, "Oh, go park this bad Niger."
Yeah.
Seriously. Who wrote it?
Yeah.
Of course, we didn't write it.
Yes.
And that is why I keep this is my mission statement in life when it comes to business is this statement that this guy did what's his name now? Fall Apart, that is in that book.
Okay.
Chinua Achebe. The statement in that book that says, until the lion learn
how to roar,
to tell
its own
story.
Yes.
The hunt will always glorify the hunter.
Exactly.
Until the lion hires people that actually tell its story, because the lion is an animal, but this is a metaphor, right? Until the lion actually decide to produce its own story or her own story.
Yes.
The hunter will always be the one telling the story of the lion.
Yes.
And as long as you're not telling your story, the perspective of the teller of that story of your story
Yes.
is not going to be correct, because they're not seeing it from your eyes. They're not seeing it from your perspective. They haven't experienced, they haven't experienced it, and they haven't stepped in your shoes for one day. They have not lived your life for one day. They have never worn your shoes for one day.
At all. It's like, I have friends in China. Some of them join in this series from one show. And it's like, and I go to China a lot because I've got families in China. So it's like I decided to produce the story of Bruce Lee.
Yeah, it's called Faces of Africa.
Wow. That's even
Faces of Africa. Faces of Africa, they have Nkrumah, they have, Faces of Africa, the Jerry Rollins story. Jerry Rollins story.
Yes. I'm sure all those stories were probably lifted from Google pages or something, and the pictures.
Yeah.
And then they're doing that.
Oh, there we go. Let me give you the so CCTV News produces. Wow. So it's CGTN. So China Government Television Network or whatever.
Yeah.
Is then this show on YouTube. If you go to it, Faces of Africa. It tells the story of each African leader, and it's funded in whole or in part. This is a disclaimer there.
Yeah.
In whole or in part by the Chinese government. The Chinese government sponsors telling our story.
That is
and here we are enslaving ourselves all over again by ourselves.
Well, I hope those in the industry are listening and they're hearing this, from across the African continent. And I hope they will take up this challenge and begin to tell our story our own way. For example, we're in Canada now. There's no way we can tell the story of the First Nations. It doesn't just work.
No, they have to tell it themselves.
Yes, that's the best.
Because for centuries, the other people have been telling the story of the First Nations. Yes. They've not told it in the perspective of those people.
Yes.
They've told it from their own eyes. But when you ask those First Nations people, they will tell you the story differently. Because their grandfathers, their forefathers and mothers lived it.
Yes.
Lived through that history that they have passed down to their children. And here we are doing it in Africa.
I hope someone will take up this challenge and do something. Now, coming back to our topic of discussion today, community engagement and social responsibility post-COVID-19. Now, I have a question. In what ways has COVID-19 affect your work? Having that, I know you're a busy person, but how has this COVID-19, slow you down, or what way?
Actually, I'm enjoying my COVID-19 quarantine period. We're no longer in quarantine, but I think it was the best time for me to reflect on myself, to take care of me, to actually slow down enough to realign myself with myself, to reconnect with myself, with Fina, the inner Fina, not the outward Fina that everybody knows, the Fina that is only me know, only me live.
Yeah.
This has really helped to connect me to myself, my family, and even my business. Now I have a different view of how to proceed, because I've now calmed down long enough to see, okay, the way I've been doing this hasn't been the best way. The way I've been doing this haven't been the best way. I'm going to do things differently once things kick back into motion. So I think this quarantine season due to COVID-19 has been kind of a blessing and a curse both at the same time. It's been good and it's been kind of, but most good for me, I must say. Bad that I didn't make the money that I should have made by now, or I expected to make this year. But good as in being able to connect spiritually, physically, psychologically, mentally, every which way with myself. Because half the time I was busy taking care of me for once.
That is good. That is
right?
Good. In the meantime, having the time to relax, reflect, and rebuff according to what
Right.
Irene said, with part of the Finner Brooks coming out with new ideas, new creativity.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Diela, for joining us. Caroline Voice, thank you for joining. Douglas Iduogbe, thank you for joining. Malis Tuchubu Wemby. Now, I have a question from Malis. Malis, I hope
let me see my screen. I don't have my glasses on, so.
Yeah. The question says, how do you see the future of these industries, entertainment, movie, and fashion in the next 5 years? That's from Malis, right?
Malis, okay.
Malis.
Well, yeah. Well, the world has completely changed. It's a paradigm shift. This is when you talk about paradigm shift. Most people have never really paid attention or noticed the paradigm shift. This is a good example of paradigm shift, and things have changed for good for the most part.
Yeah.
We'll never party the same way we've been partying before. We will never shop the same way we've been shopping before.
Yes.
We will never visit or travel the same way we've been traveling before. So everything and anything has changed. And we as individuals we will have to learn the new way of doing things, the new way of staying safe, the new way of moving forward, the new way of traveling. From now on, trust me, moving forward, if I'm on a flight, I'm wearing my mask.
Yeah.
I don't care whether there's a pandemic or no pandemic. I'm going to be wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be wearing maybe a screen. Those are
like hijab.
Yes, I'll be wearing some because I just feel there's just been so much in the air that we don't notice. And although we do need to build our immune system to be able to fight off the viruses, pandemic, not necessarily pandemic. There's always viruses. There's always viruses. That is why in Africa, we play in the sand. Growing up as kids, we used to play in the sand. That we hardly were sick because we've lived it all. We have the immunity to fight off viruses upon viruses. But in the Western world, kids are not. I know that my mom used to say I used to eat sand as a 1 or 2 year old, right? Like 1 year old playing in the sand. My toy will be sandy and I'll just put in my, like that's what we do. That's how we live in Africa. We used to have this immunity that we used to say, oh, dirty no, they kill African man, because we have the immunity because we grew up in that, on the living in the soil, living in the soil
with animals playing around
with everything, dogs, cats, chickens running in the backyard and all that, and we're chasing the chickens as babies, as kids, not babies, kids. So life has changed forever. And we just have to learn to live with the new normal.
That is the word. We have to learn how to adjust, how to live, and then being a brother's keeper.
Yes, absolutely.
Because, like you said, if you're flying, you're wearing a mask. If not
so from now on,
or for someone else, it helps someone else. So now the next question I have here is a bit long. He said, in the light of the present global pandemic, what do you think the government and individuals should be doing to engage the community as soon as we get over this challenge? Because we are little by little, we are getting over this pandemic. But how do we engage the community? What should we be doing individually or as the government? What should we be doing?
Well, as a government, the government is doing quite a bit right now, as in helping people who are dealing with having to pay bills and they don't have a job, or they've lost, or they either lost their jobs or are getting less hours, or the company is closed down for the time being. The government is helping there. I just think that the government is over babysitting us right now. That's my thought.
Why?
Because I believe that the parks should be open. The park should be open so kids can run around, do certain things. Parents should be there, on standby. That I mean, if they are little kids, like 2-year-olds, maybe not. 5-year-olds, 6 years old, yes, maybe, yes.
Yeah.
Allow them to play. I think we should learn the new normal, like I said. The new normal is just the way to go. If you learn the new normal and know how you're going to fare in this new normal, in this new system that has just started this year, we'll be fine. And surprisingly, in a pandemic, some people, this is when they are making it.
Yeah.
Because everybody's time is different. Everybody can be making it all at the same time, right? Some people are making it, some people are not making it, and some people are yet to make it.
Yeah.
It's still just barely half this year, right? There's plenty of time to still make 2020 worth it. Yes. People are saying, we thought 2020 is our year. I didn't know that it's going to be this. No, it's not over yet. I still have faith in 2020.
Yeah.
I know that there's going to be a lot more good stuff that is going to come out of this pandemic. A lot more good stuff. And a lot more that is going to help people make more money.
Yes, I pray so.
The only thing is, think smart.
Yes.
Pay attention to your surrounding. Pay attention more often. Wash your hands shouldn't be something we should know in 2020. It's something you should already know as a kid.
Exactly.
My family know. As soon as you walk into my house, I don't care where you went to, whether you went to the store, to school, to work. As you're walking in, you head straight to the bathroom or to the kitchen and wash your hands.
Yes.
It shouldn't be something we are learning now.
It should be part of our life.
Know that. And don't touch your face. If women, we've been used to not touching our faces because we know not only do we have makeup on, we know that we'll break out when we start touching our faces.
Yes.
When you touch your face, because I touch different surfaces, I touch my laptop, I touch my mouse, I touch my different things. When you touch your face, of course, you're putting inferior things or foreign things in your face. And that can give you a breakout.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, if Naveen is watching, she's the cosmetic genius. She will know that too. Don't touch your face. You don't. I mean, you maybe once in a while if you need to really touch your face, but you don't go like touching your face to putting your finger in your mouth or your nose or in your eye to now put foreign things in your body, because that's how you ingest this virus, right? Through your mouth, nose, or eyes, not your ears. Thank God.
So you've been in Calgary for almost 25 years, and I'm sure you have seen so many things come and go, events after events, things happening, different activities happening over the course of the years you spent in Calgary. Now, the question is, what changes do you like to see in Calgary, especially in regards to the creative industries? When I'm talking about creative industries, I mean fashion, music.
Yeah, I got it.
All around,
Way to have hope, but as long as we are not the ones, when it comes to everybody else, right now everybody else is not in the same place or at the same place. Blacks and the rest of the people don't have this. We are not on the same level. And until we start empowering ourselves to start owning broadcasts, businesses, film houses, like movie theaters, community centers, and art places that actually will be the main thing, not you working there. When you work for somebody, you're at mercy at first.
Yes.
When you work, as long as you're working for someone and you're expecting to get a salary, you are limited to what you're going to get. But when it comes to, I want to focus on our community, right? Yeah. When it comes to moving forward after COVID-19, what I think about the entertainment industry is that we still have a long way to go.
Yeah.
Because as long as we don't own these things. For example, I will watch the news. I'm going to give real references to stuff.
Okay.
When I watch the news, CTV, Global, CBC, CDTV, all this news, I will see minor news stories basically lifestyle stories where a kid wrote a nice artwork for the mom from school for Mother's Day,
Mm-hmm.
and that will be in the news. It's not a black kid, by the way, it's a white
Yeah.
kid. And you look at that and okay, there's this little story that are encouraging to kids, but I've never seen a black kid featured in a minor lifestyle story like that. I'm sorry.
Mm.
This I'm gonna come on out. I'm going to say it as it is.
Yeah.
Until we own and run these things, our stuff are not going there.
Exactly.
They're not going to happen there. If we have events, they're not going to feature our events at their thing. Maybe an honorary mention will be okay.
Mm.
Maybe.
Mm.
But they won't come and say, yeah, come. They'll be promoting it every week. And, until, even though it's a community thing, it favors the whole, maybe the whole African community, at least. Let's narrow it down there.
Yeah. Wow.
They're not going to feature it because they don't understand it. It's not their story.
Mm.
You don't expect someone else to take your story and put it on their head. No.
No way.
Your story is your business. You're passionate about it.
Mm.
You're passionate about what concerns you.
Mm.
If it doesn't concern them, they will not care. And you can't blame them because they don't understand.
Exactly.
So my challenge, especially in these times, my challenge is to every black person, man or woman, have white friends.
Mm.
Every white man or woman have black friends, Asian friends, Indian friends, friends from every ethnic group or every race, culture. Because until we learn to understand each other, until I understand the white man's culture, Indian culture, Chinese culture, Native First Nations culture, until I understand their pain, understand their culture, taste their food, see how good it really is, I will never fully appreciate them as a people. I'm not saying me as a person. No. I'm just saying that's just the general way things go.
Yes.
I have friends from every race on the planet.
That's what
yeah, we should all have friends from. We shouldn't limit ourselves to our community. We shouldn't limit ourselves to just because I watch parties and I see you have parties. It tends to, not just us. It tends to be 99% black. And we're in a very white city.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when I go to a white people's party, I'm probably the only black person at that party.
Wow.
Maybe I'll see one more black person. And that's not how, that's not, we're not inclusive. So generally we are not practicing inclusion in the world today. We're not practicing inclusion.
Yeah, I agree.
We are not practicing inclusion. But I understand some people that say, oh, I've had friends, I've had white friends, but they always, throw me under the bus. Yeah, I've been there. But that doesn't stop me from giving another white person a chance to say, you know what, there's some very, very good white people out there. I have loads of white friends. And I also have a few white, questionable white friends too. But so are my black friends, right? But we need each other a chance. We should give each other the opportunity to understand each other's culture. Culture is culture and art and food. Those three things is what brings us all together.
Exactly.
When you talk of the culture, we'll talk about food, music, art, dance, language.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I go to a new fashion, when I go to a new place, I like to try their food. When I went to China, I made sure I bought Chinese clothing.
That's good.
And I gave some of them out as gifts so that I brought back a piece of China with me.
Exactly, that's what it should be.
When I went to France, I brought like cheeses and stuff that is unique to that place. We need to learn to appreciate other culture because again, we Africans, we do it to ourselves too sometimes. sometimes. Like, oh, we judge people from afar. I mean, I know they judge us from afar too, but if we want to extend, excuse me, if we want to extend the hand of friendship and the hand of faith,
Yeah.
especially because lots of us are very religious, like Christian, Judeo-Christian kind of people. That's what we practice typically, right?
Yeah.
In Africa, we need to extend the hand of Christ to all, even our enemies, even people that we know hate us. We need to extend love, extend and show love, give love, give out love, give off love, even when they are being bad to you. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
Someone really tell you, call this a talkative, a talkative series. Now we're talking. Anyway, so years ago, I was working at a TV network, a TV station, right? I won't mention the name. I worked for all 3 TV networks over the years. I mean, decades ago. I was working for one of them, and I was in master control. And wow, I have seen racism face to face.
Wow.
Like face to face 1,000 times.
Close proximity.
Live and direct, face to face, touching myself in my, like, physically. I have seen it. I've witnessed it. Things that they will not do to other people, they did to me. For example, I'll be master. Every shift you have your workload. So maybe the previous shift didn't finish their work. They'll add their work to my full load of work. Because I have to ingest the show that is going on the air. I have to schedule it. I have to program it into the system to make sure it airs at that particular time. And then when it comes to the end of my shift, it's not finished because I only have 2 hands.
Yeah.
And when they are giving me this extra job from previous shifts, I'm saying, I don't think I can finish all this with the time that I have, 8 hours. Well, what are you? Are you stupid? Like, and there will be other people, white people, right there in the studio. They could hear 21-year-old girl yelling at a 32-year-old woman. 32-year-old woman and a 21-year-old because she's a supervisor. I have more experience in education than her. Doesn't matter. It's where I was, and I was happy to be there because sometimes you have to start from the bottom in order to appreciate it when you are on the top, at the top.
Yes.
So I took insult from this girl day in and day out. Sometimes I'll go to the bathroom and cry. I'll bawl my eyes out. I'll be like, I'll call my husband, and my husband is white, right? And I'll tell him, he'll be like, you know what, quit your job. What kind of nonsense is that? Blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, I ain't quitting. I'm not going to let her make me quit.
Yes.
I'm not going to let her win. I am going to do it. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show her the love of Christ.
That's the best.
I will show her the love of Christ. So I continued. I'll go to the bathroom, cry, wipe my face, wash my face with water, come back to my station, continue my work. Some other time, a day later, it's like she kept picking fight with me. Every time she would tell me to do something, I will do it. She would say, oh no, you didn't do it fast enough. Are you dumb? Are you stupid? If it's today, I will have made money because I will have sued. But I was I thought I was being trained. Wow. And because of how we grew up, you don't question authority. You respect authority. You do what you're told to do. You don't question your bosses. So I learned to manage, even though I was dying psychologically inside.
Oh my goodness!
I was managing my job, and then after, what made me even quit the job is, at that time I had my kids were little. They were 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, around that age anyway. I think Kindra was about 12 years old. Yes. who knows? Yes, she was about 11, 12. And she was now playing basketball. And then the twins were also playing volleyball or something like, I think
Okay.
volleyball. And the days that my children have games or tournaments, I will choose to give my shifts to another another
Yeah.
co-worker. And sometimes they'll say, "Oh, I don't have enough shifts. I'm like, I have more shifts. If you want, I can give you," because I'd rather be spending the time with my children.
Yeah.
It's more important for me because some of them, they were in their 18, 19, 20, 21. I think the oldest person there was maybe 24, 25.
Okay.
And I mean, apart from me, I was in my 30s. And so I have a family. Some of them were all single, right? Most of them were all single, apart from the main boss, the executive producer and all that. Anyway, so I managed to give my shift to somebody else and say, "You take my shift, I don't." That still pisses her off. You're not paying me. I've been able to arrange by myself to give my shift to somebody who needs it or wants it more than me. And she'll come and yell at me. "I'm gonna have to write you up. You can't be giving your shift away. That means you have less than 20 hours a week. That's not appreciated. You cannot do that. If you don't want the job, you can quit." And I'm like, listen, somebody needed the hours. I gave it to them. You're not paying me, so don't worry about it. I'm not
So
worried.
yeah.
Oh yeah, because you're rich, you think you can just be giving people hours. She'll be yelling at me. And the funniest thing, which is not at that time wasn't funny, was that other people in the office could hear her yell at me
Mm.
in a very, very derogatory, very belittling way. And they did nothing. They said nothing. Not
Mm.
one time did anyone say, you shouldn't be doing that. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do her. Why would you be yelling at us too?
Mm.
So these were the experiences. This is just one. Trust me, we need like 50 more shows for me to tell you all the
Yeah.
experience I had.
Okay. Now,
And
I
and,
can
and
feel.
eventually,
Yeah.
yeah. So eventually I decided, you know what, if I have to be afraid to take time off or give my shifts away because of fear of being written about or written up,
Yeah.
I don't do it. So I said, you know what? When it came to my evaluation that year, and that morning, the big boss, the executive producer, asked me, "Oh, how are you liking your job?" I said, "Sir, I ain't gonna lie to you. I
Like
hate
in the job.
my job. I quit. Like, just like I didn't plan it. I just said, you know what? Enough is enough."
Mm.
It's like my brain has been waiting for that question. And finally I say, you know what? I'm going to answer it. And I said, "I quit." And he goes, "You want to think about it? You have 24 hours. I said, "I don't need to think about it.
I'm not coming back.
Mouth, as long as it came out of my mouth, I'm sticking to it. I
Mm.
quit. I'm going to give you my 2 weeks starting from today. 2 weeks notice starting
Yeah.
from today." He said, I'll expect you to get back to me tomorrow. I said, no, 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 no. Tomorrow I'm bringing the letter, the official letter. So the
Mm.
next day I put in the letter and I started giving my shifts out. So like 2 days
Mm.
before I left. And the day I was leaving, I wrote another, they asked me for an exit
Leonard.
survey.
Okay.
And on that survey, I know the thing didn't go to them, to the boss and owners and stuff.
Mm.
I wrote my experiences and I wrote everything. Nobody, that was it. Till
Wow.
then. And since then, I've never worked for anybody. I
Yeah,
work for
that's cool.
myself.
Not so many
I
people,
will take it.
not so many people can go through what you've been through and survive. Not so many
Mm,
people have that kind of energy or inner strength. Now,
mm,
I can feel your pain. I can share your pain because I've had my own share of that. Now,
mm, mm.
relating that to what is happening now on the other side of the border, what can we say about the issue of racism, prejudice, hatred in our community, in Canadian community, especially in Calgary? What can
The
we say?
issue of
Because
prejudice.
yeah, like people are saying that okay, thank God we don't have policemen in Canada that are going around killing people, or all of that.
Oh,
But there are some form of racism. What
hmm.
do you have to say about that?
my brother. Sometimes the Canadian racism is worse than the one in America
Why?
because it's a very systemic.
Mm.
It's like a rat biting you, biting and eating all your skin and blowing it at the same time. So they are chewing your skin and they're blowing. They're chewing and blowing. So you're feeling the pain, but then you're getting a little release.
Yeah.
That's how the Canadian system is. And it's so systemic that even you yourself question whether it is what it is.
Mm.
Until you look back objectively and say, listen, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Because even at that time when this thing was happening to me, like at that station, I didn't see it as racism. I just saw it that my boss is abusive.
Mm.
That's it. She didn't talk to other people like that in
But
the
why
office.
me?
Why me? Because I was the only black person. I was the only black person in the whole station.
Mm. Wow. Wow.
The other person is mixed. So I was the only like dark-skinned person.
Mm.
So I didn't, but although that was the case, I did not see it as racism at that time, like 12 years ago. 10, yeah, 12, 2009. So 11 years ago.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of stories about this systemic way of acting out a racist behavior, and it's all
Oh,
across. And
thank
and,
you.
and
I've had a few, I'm sorry. I've had a few, I wanted to answer that question finally. I've had a few instances with the Calgary police. Oh, goodness.
what was your
You
experience
know, they do these things, especially when they deal with the African parents or African people.
like? Yeah.
They always have that preconceived, crazy African woman, crazy black woman, kind of thing. So they already have that thing. So when they're talking to you, they go, why are you so rude? Why are you yelling? And you're saying, I'm not yelling. I'm just trying to explain what happened. No, you're being. I go, okay, let me tell you what happened. I had this tenant at a few, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. This is just one of my police incidents, okay, in
Yeah.
Calgary. So I had this tenant and who refused to pay. So after 3 months, by the third month, I went to deliver the notice, the quit notice,
Yeah.
the eviction notice,
Yes.
the eviction notice, yeah. But I went with a friend as a witness. So when I got to the door, I rang the bell and I asked the lady, because the person who signed the lease is at that time they were engaged, they were not married, they were engaged to be married, but at that time they were already married, but the guy was the only one on the list. So I said, can I speak to the guy? And she goes, oh, it's upstairs. When he came down and I said, oh, just since you haven't paid, this is the third month. We've been very patient with you and you keep saying you will pay and you never paid. Yes, and we gave you warning before, like 6 months before. You didn't pay. You said you went on vacation. And so this is the second time, and we told you at that time, the next time you do it, but we've been patient again. This is the third month. So when the guy realized what I was handing to him, he said, you effing N-word. You come to my house? I say, this is my house. He goes, no, this is my house. I say, well, I pay the mortgage in this house.
Yeah.
You only are paying the rent.
Yes.
You are renting the space. You're renting the house. You don't own the house. If the house burns down, you can walk away. I have to deal with it. So this house is my house. My name is on the deed of this house. So it's my house. Well, you can't come to. I said, well, I didn't come in. I'm at the door. You know what this guy did? If you don't step out of my door right now, I'm going to kick your whatever in. And my friend was like, what are you? So my friend said, Fina, I'm calling the police. I said, go ahead, call the police. The wife now said, I'm calling the police. So we both called the police. He was yelling at me and I said, this is an abuse. Because after he called me the N-word, I said, okay, this is not about eviction notice anymore. This is about something else. You feel like you don't need to pay me because how dare I own this house?
That's the attitude.
My brother. The police is even worse. The police that came. So they called the police. My friend called. We have two police there. So when my police came, one of the police came, they took us to the front garage, and the police went inside to talk to them. So the police guy who has a British accent that was talking to me says, "Oh, so what happened?" So I told him the whole story. And because it was windy, I was wearing something like this, and I did like this. I said, "So, officer, this is what." So I was like this. So my hand was like this on my under my bust, right?
Yeah.
And the police officer says, "You know, you are privileged to have a house.
What?
He doesn't have the. I swear to God, who made me." He said, "You were intimidating him
On top of your house?
because yes, and this guy was one that threatened to beat me up." After telling this guy the story, because I was like this and I was telling the story, and my friend was there saying, "My friend is here, and I brought her as a witness, and she can tell you how it is." And that's right. That's it, Naveen. So anyway, so the policeman says, "Well, you were being so the policeman, after this it heard from us, he went into the house, and they were the two police officers with them started talking. Remember, two white police officers,
Yeah.
and me, black woman outside, and a black man and a white man and his wife inside the house, and me and my black friend outside
Outside.
in the garage. He said, "Stay out here, don't come to the door." You know, he said, they told me you threatened them. They felt threatened by you, because I said, because I handed an eviction
Notice. Yeah,
that's threatening them. I was only supposed to hand it to him and walk away, but he said he's not going to accept it. He's not going to take it. And I said, "I'm supposed to give it to you." So my friend was suggesting I give it to the wife, as long as she sees it, everything is fine. That she's a witness. The guy says to the wife, "Don't accept it." So both of them decided they're not going to touch the eviction notice. So the police, after going in to talk to them, came outside to tell me that they told them that I threatened him. How did I threaten? What did I threaten? Like, why will I come there to threaten them? I gave you, I'm here to hand you the notice, the eviction notice. That's all I was supposed to do, and that's what I did. He says, "Well, can't you see that because you own the house and they are just common renters? You even look at the way you are standing. You are standing like you are very intimidating." I see me short, 5 or 6'7". This guy that we are talking about. My people, I was looking at this police officer. You know, tears started coming out of my eyes because I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I said, "Excuse me, officer. I'm telling you what happened. This is my perspective, and you're telling me their perspective is more correct. And they told you I threatened them with how? How did they?" They said, "Well, it doesn't matter because you seem to have the upper hand because it's your house. You are the owner. You don't have to treat people just like because they didn't pay. You obviously have money to afford you should be able to pay the mortgage." And I said, "Well, I have to still pay the mortgage." "Well, you should be able to pay the mortgage for a few more months. It's not a big deal. After you own the house, that means that you can afford it more than them." I said, "So you're now a judge and jury?"
It's very wrong.
I was like, "Officer, I thought you came here to keep the peace, but obviously you came here to take sides. You didn't come to keep. You didn't come to settle anything. You didn't come to take the letter from me and say, let me hand it to him myself. And I'll be to say, okay, I'm a police officer. I'm going to hand it to him, and I'll witness that it was given to them. Because tomorrow when we go to court, I don't want them to say we never got the quick notice."
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
So that's how my friend and now basically through at that time when I had said when they refused to take the notice, I threw it inside the house. Right? By the time we came outside. So I just threw it inside. I said, "Well, here it is, you seeing it." And I told my friend, "Film it that we are dropping it in the house." And that's when they wanted to close the door on my hand, like putting it inside the house. They wanted to close the door on my hand. To hurt me. And
it's huge. It's a lot of things we're saying now, and thank God for social media that is giving us the privilege to see what
Yes.
a lot of us have been going through over the years. This is still the Global Talkative Series, a platform where we come to rub mind and share minds. I don't think we have about 5 minutes more. So I want to reach out and say thank you to Mrs. Yinka Marcos, Sophia Opon, Nevin Dominic, Jonas Preds Ikoro, for all those who are joining us on Facebook and YouTube, Pastor D Adekugbe, Alabi Adenekon, thank you, Caroline Voice, thank you so much, Irene, thank you so much, the Brad girl, thank you. In just like 2 minutes, considering what is happening in America now, what we're seeing, what word of advice do you want to give our police, our politicians in Canada, narrowing down to Calgary? What word of advice do you want to give them? Because in Africa, there's a proverb that says that before a tree grows to become so big, if they can cut, try and trim it and prune it down, then you can manage it. So I know we've seen it, I've experienced it, you've experienced. So what word of advice do you want to give to our men of police force in Calgary, our politicians, in our community?
Well, the thing is, as long as we have the cameras on, finally we can actually tell our sides.
Yeah.
It's not going to be their words against us or our words against theirs. It's people, if you witness anything that seems out of the ordinary, start filming. And if you see a physical assault, I don't care who's doing it, get in there and fight for your fellow man, woman, or child. I don't care if someone is abused. Do you know I have faced a lot of abuse on the bus, on the train, in an office, at school, in class, in the store. And there'll be people there and they say nothing. They just say, and even when you say, did you not hear this guy say this to me? Or did you not hear this woman? They say, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get involved. You don't want to get involved. You see, this is the problem with the world. When it's not a problem, you say until it comes to your doorstep.
Yeah.
Lots of these things can be avoided if people get involved. You don't stand by and witness an atrocity, something bad happening to your fellow human being.
Yeah. We
are all one race. We are all one humankind.
Yes.
We are all one human being. We are the reason I believe the reason why God created us in different shades and color is because He wanted it to be like a kaleidoscope, a beauty, a rainbow. Because if we're all the same color, how boring can that be?
Exactly. Variety is the spice of life.
Spice of life.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look. I wore this ring for a reason. Look at the beautiful colors of the ring.
Yeah.
If it's one color, it's one color.
Looks boring.
Multicolor is the beauty of life.
Yes.
You go to the ocean, you see the water, the reflection of the sun on the water, the waves, and everything. It's not just stand still. It's not just one color. It reflects different color as the sun heats it.
Okay.
We need to learn to live with each other. We are stuck together as humankind.
And life will be more beautiful if we learn to understand each other. Just hold the thought. In about a minute or so, we're going to cut off from Instagram, but we're still live on Facebook and YouTube to continue this conversation. So, I believe it is time
for us from Instagram and come back on Instagram.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we can do that. So once
people still want to be a part of it.
Yeah, so
because I know some friends in Nigeria. I mean, they may be sleeping now, but
people
were so excited.
We're gonna cut off Instagram in about a minute, and then we're back on Instagram. But we're still live on YouTube and Facebook, and we'll continue. Now, I have a question around your work. What are you doing now? What kind of projects are you involved with now?
Okay, like I said, how I have finally reflected and decided that I need to do things differently.
Yeah.
I have decided that for 2020, I'm going to go back to my first love.
Mm.
I'm going to go back to my first love of telling stories
Yeah.
on a big screen, not just on the silver screen, the little screen, on a bigger screen. I want to do more movies, more documentaries for the big screen. And so that's where my focus is at this moment. I still will be doing my TV show, but my husband is waving at me. I still will be doing my TV show, because that's kind of my little baby, my little community service thing that I do, because I really want to tell our communities stories and perspectives, and just showcase our culture. And when I say showcase our culture, I'm talking of not just the Nigerian culture. I'm talking of the Ghanaian culture, the
Just hold the thought. I'm
Ethiopian.
going to connect you back on Instagram. I'm going to connect you back on Instagram. Just hold the thought.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so viewers, we're back on Instagram, still with the amazing Fina Brooks, the Canadian TV host, producer, and filmmaker. You know, it's an opportunity for us to keep, you know, the discussion. It's amazing. We have a lot of folks sending in messages, you know, saying this is insightful. Like Jonas Press, the person said this is insightful. You know, maybe Dominic said you are not responsible for someone else's feelings.
Oh,
You know,
yes,
we
my
have them
sister.
saying, I love this platform. I'm here. Hi,
I
Mr.
really
Brooks. I really saying hello to
Oh, I
you, Mr. Brooks.
really
So going back to the, I'm going to send an invitation now on Instagram.
Okay. Oh, let me go back. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're going to be back.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's connected now. Okay, I see it.
Okay, so Fina is back on Instagram. I can say this is a special edition of the Global Talkative series. So we have so many people, you know, wanting to know, what are you working on? Which project are you working on now?
Well, at the moment, I'm collaborating with like a younger brother of mine who is all the way in Ottawa. Uh, he's been meaning to do this web series. It's a 12-part web series, which I have sent out him and I have sent out the audition call for audition, and our community are slacking. You know. I've sent this call for audition out for over a week now, and 99% of the people who are getting back to us are not Africans.
Wow. Wow.
People will wait until they want you to cuddle them, beg them, you know, pet them, pamper them to come and participate in a thing like this. This series is a series that is talking about is basically for African international students at the University of Calgary.
I saw it.
Originally he wrote it for University of Toronto. I convinced him to change it to University of Calgary. And we kind of tailored it to Calgary now so that we can produce it here. Right? I know we have resources we need. It's just when you're looking for these lead actors, we need the lead females and lead males to audition. Send it out. It's out there. It's on Instagram. It's on Facebook. It's on WhatsApp.
I didn't say this is new to me. I'm just hearing. So maybe you probably take some few minutes.
It's on my page now, and I sent it on.
Maybe you take this opportunity to tell our audiences what the project is all about, so that they will know. Because I get a lot of folks, you know, until you, like you said, you have to tell them and tell them. They might not see. So let us hear this project. What is it about?
Well, it's a web series. It's a 12-part web series that follows 4 international students One of them is from a very wealthy home in Nigeria, and then the other three are the roommates of this girl. So the four girls live in this house. So most of the scenes take place in the apartment and in school, on the streets, in a bar, in a club, in a restaurant, all that. These are the locations, right? And it's going to be very good for the community, and it's going to be good for our up and coming actors. When I say actors, I mean male and female too. To get in there. If it's been your dream to be a part of this industry, this is your time. Audition for it. Send in your headshot. Send in your once you acknowledge that you want to be a part of it, we send you like a paragraph you can read.
Yeah.
For 2 or 3 different characters. And then you can decide which one you really want to go for, and you can do that one and send it. And then we can audition. Once we watch all the audition tapes, we can now decide, okay, who takes this next, so that we can start sending you the actual script, not just your sides, so that you can learn your lines. When they learn the lines, we're filming on July 9th. We start filming July 9th in Calgary. So it's new. It's
someone just joined. Wamilele said he needs the script. Wamilele said he needs the script.
It's gonna be.
Wamilele, thank you for joining our show. Thank you so much.
Wamio. My little bro.
So Ari said is interested. So. Everybody interested. I also sent a message.
Yes,
I'm interested.
I have to. In fact, I was telling my cousin, the producer of the show. I was telling him, I say, Larry is so resourceful and is an actor, and he has to be involved in this thing. So I've been telling you we need to talk. But you guys know this last few months, you people think I'm slacking. Yes, I'm slacking, but because I'm really taking care of myself for the first time in my life, in a very long time. So I had a health care. Let me just be open now. I had a health care about a month ago.
Wow.
I didn't have COVID. I didn't have COVID-19. Yeah, I didn't have it. I actually thought I did. I didn't have it, but I had a major health care that is making me tamper things down a bit. Try to sleep at night. It's really hard for me. Try to get enough sleep in my day, in my night. And these days, if I have to take a nap, I take a nap. I don't apologize for it. So basically, that's what I've been kind of taking care of me lately, doing, and also trying to reconnect with my business, how I'm going to do it moving forward. I'm from life over and so what to do actually after this whole thing goes. That's really it.
That's cool. I am Mo. Thank you for joining us. Wamilele, thank you for joining. Kemp's Design, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you for joining. So now this story is about our Canada, our community in Calgary, and
yes,
Ari was saying that it is not meant for old people, but I've read a part of the information, and I think every age range is needed.
Yes, it's there.
Category, so there's no restriction to
you, Larry. I know a part that will be suitable for you.
I actually said I'm gonna
I've
do.
already casted you.
No, I said I want to do Professor Rufai.
Yes.
Yeah, so I read it. So I knew
it's gonna be so cool.
So I read it. So if you have not heard about this project, you can go on Fina Brooks' page or link so that you can get to know about this project. It is our time for us. It's an opportunity for us to tell our story.
Yes.
It's an opportunity for you to tell our story. And another thing why I think it's a major problem is that even though it's written there that it's non-union, low pay,
no budget and all that.
Yeah, there's a principle that I've worked with over the years, which I want to tell our audiences. At times, you have to understand what you have to give yourself an opportunity to do something. It is not always about what you can get immediately. It is not about, okay, I need to get the money now. If I can't get the money now, you know
Yes.
what? Send yourself out, sow yourself as a seed. It's
Yes.
part of the project. And in the process, who knows? And all
Who
of
knows?
will see you.
Is what
Yeah.
even I have this. I think it's kind of because I've been through racism and all those nasty things in the Western world. I these days I pay attention to what's on television and what's in movies. I count literally. I'm not kidding. My husband sometimes say, "Can we just watch this movie? You pay too much attention to details." I say, "Yes, I have to. You don't need to worry about it. This is my industry. I need to pay attention to these things. I count how many Africans are featured in these movies, how many Africans are featured in this TV series,
Yes.
how many Africans are featured in TV commercials.
Yeah.
I actually have a logbook. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I watch like 50 TV commercials, and I can count maybe 5 Black people in 50 commercials. So I pay very, very close attention. And I've been doing it since I was in broadcast school. We had to analyze commercials. We had to film a whole weekend of commercials, and we go to class and we play each because it's 30 seconds, most of them, right? We analyze each commercial, what the producers were thinking. So I have this thing in my head how I analyze commercials and why we are not so featured in most of them.
So what is the problem? Why are we not? Because sorry to cut you. This same thing you mentioned, the last time I had Olulika Adeliyi on this show, she said the same thing.
Yeah.
Then the same thing when Miss Julie Black came to Calgary, who was the National Music Center.
Yes.
She was looking around that, oh, I can see pictures of so many Africans. So why is that?
You see, listen to I've watched documentaries of World War, not necessarily World War I, of World War II. Of all the documentaries I've seen, I've never seen one Black soldier. But I know Nigerian soldiers, African soldiers, African American soldiers, British African British soldiers that fought in that war, World War II. When they tell the story, I don't see them featured. So it's like we didn't have people who fought for this freedom we're talking about. It's crazy. So until we Africans learn to tell our story, we can't blame people who are telling it from their perspective.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. It's their resources, it's their time, it's their production house, it's their editing, it's their story, it's their perspective. We need to tell our perspective. And that's the beauty of the date. We have it because when you go to school, you don't just read only one course.
Yeah.
You read, let's say, history, biology, geography. You read everything. It expands your mind.
Yes.
It makes you more aware.
Open to your community, to environment.
More objective.
Yes.
Not just in your thinking, in your argument.
Yeah.
In your lifestyle.
How you reason?
You can reason. You are smart. You know what's happening in the world. You don't just say blindly, "Oh, my house is the most beautiful house in the world." I'm trying to say America is the best country in the world. But 99% of Americans haven't left America. How do you know America is the best country in the world?
Exactly.
Because you see, that is what Hollywood sold us.
I will believe.
Hollywood sold it so well. Hollywood is the best promotional arsenal that America has.
Yeah.
The best.
Yes. Yeah.
They have sold America so well that the first time you go to America and see a neighborhood that is kind of substandard, you'll be like, "Huh? This is America?"
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is America. America have the good, the bad, and the ugly. So it's everywhere else. So it's every culture, everybody you can't have it all good.
Yeah.
But America has been good to tell us in the rest of the world that America is the best place in the world, and not just the best place, God's own country.
Country,
So God,
yeah, and they're doing a
so
good job at it.
if God can come down and live in America, it must be the best place in the world, right? They've sold it to us, and
Okay.
literally we bought it.
Okay, so I've got
Until
a question. Captain K, if you're watching on Instagram, please resend your question and I'll read it because I can't see the question. So Captain K, if you're watching on Instagram, send a question. Now, how can we attract more artists of color, especially from we have this industry in Nigeria. Nollywood is huge, it's big. We have it in Ghana. I don't know whether it's called Gollywood. I don't know.
it's Dollywood.
Yeah, we have in Kenya. We have in South Africa. How can we attract some of these artists to come and shoot here in this country? Or what do you think, being in this industry, how do you think they can, what can we do to bring them to come shoot movies here?
Well, it's not about, I'm sure they would love to come and film movies here in Obodo Yibo. I'm very sure they would love to do it. However, Nollywood self-financed itself. The government did not help Nollywood. I know that the only government that has ever helped Nollywood in one way or another, I mean, no matter how small it is the Jonathan government that actually helped, was giving grants to producers. And apart from Jonathan, no president in Nigeria has ever, because we're talking of Nollywood now, not Hollywood, right? No president of Nigeria, apart from Goodluck Jonathan, has helped that industry. So basically what we had was, or what we still have, is independent producers, little producers doing their best, telling the story, the African story, the Nigerian story, and doing it from the little way they can. They are just trying their best, and they're getting really good because now film equipment is getting cheaper and it's everywhere now. It's easy to find a nice microphone, to find a nice camera. Even your phone can shoot a very good 4K film for you if you really want to. So people are getting really creative, and because things are getting cheaper, they can really afford good gear, and that's the saving grace for Nollywood. But before now, they've had crappy equipment. They managed it, and on top of that, most of these producers, big producers in Nigeria, in Nollywood, didn't have any formal training. It's just a passion, because in this business, all you need is passion. Money comes later.
Afterwards.
Sorry, in film school, first day of film school, about they put different specialty in the same class. So it was kind of a film school, but the first day was general studies.
All right.
Right? We were all filmies and radio people, broadcast people, camera people, editors, all that, everybody in the same room. So the first day, the professor asked us, who here thinks we will get rich in this business? We all put our hands up.
What was his reaction?
He said, get out.
Why?
He said, you're in the wrong class. He says, if you are in this business, you think you get famous and you make money, you're not in the right business, because it doesn't work that way. Fame and money may come. It may not come. It may come. But the passion you put in this work is really the most important thing, because now you're telling a story, and your story will live forever.
Yes.
That's what you get out of it.
Yeah. So going back to Captain K, the question she asked was the miniseries, the web series you're talking about. She wanted to know if it's for Nigerians alone.
No, it's not. There is Asian in there. There's white. There's Nigerian. There's Ghanaian. There's everybody. We'll send you a few characters, and then you can just do the one. You do a video. Use your phone. Just film yourself reading that line. You can read it however you want. You can be dramatic. If you don't know what to do, we can coach you on what to do. But it's just you reading a line and saying, let's say they give you something to read. You read it, and you can read it in a dramatic way, in a funny way.
Yeah.
excuse me, in any way
Yeah.
you choose, and that's what's going to decide whether we pick you for that role or not.
Okay.
Some
Someone
people
asked.
already have an idea what part
Okay.
they will be great at,
Okay.
right? But some people will still have to audition, and it's video audition. Use your phone, take the thing, send it to me on WhatsApp, or send it to that email address, and that's it.
Okay. So someone asked that when it comes to costume,
Mhm.
is the production company going to provide the costume, or can they come with their own costume?
It's two ways. Depends on the role you're playing. If you're just gonna play someone in a bar, we'll say come with what you have. We'll just tell you wear this color. That's
Okay.
it. But if you are a lead character, we'll try to provide costume for you, or we'll tell you if you have this kind of clothes, bring this. So we'll pick from what you already have and what we have and what we can
Okay.
provide.
Good. Yeah.
Right?
So,
Mhm.
having been in this industry for years, do you provide some form of mentorship or training for those who are interested? You know, a lot of folks I've seen in the mall, I've seen, there's some people who are naturally talented, but they
Mm.
are no guide as to, okay,
Yes.
I see you are good, but they just need some form of brush up here and there to put
Yes.
them
Yes.
in
Yeah.
the right perspective. So someone might be watching now, or someone's going to watch later. So do you have form of advice or form of training that you provide, whether they have to pay or they have to come and learn to work? Do you do something like that?
Yes. Um, First of all, it's because of COVID-19 that we're not doing film school this summer. We normally have a film school for youths between the ages of 11 and 17.
Okay.
Sometimes some people say, "Oh, I want my 10-year-old to do it. He's kind of a big kid. Well, tall. It looks more mature than his age." And I said, "Okay, fine. If you think they can do well in that setting, that's fine." So they're usually not more than 20 students I get for each session of a week,
Okay.
and sometimes we extend it to 2 weeks if they are still interested, and the parents are happy with it and the parents kind of think they can do it. Then we extend it to 2 weeks, and the students will write their own script,
All right.
a 5 to 7 minutes story, about 65 pages of screenplay, and then they will produce it themselves.
Mm.
They will take turns doing camera, lighting, sound, acting, and doing everything, and even doing the location and everything, deciding on the look. I try to make it into one or two locations within the environment, something not too far, so that we can
Okay.
easily produce it in 1 or 2 days.
Okay. So you
And then it
mentioned.
takes 1 day to write a script,
Okay.
and
You
it's
mentioned. You mentioned the age between
11 to
11. Now, what about other age range above 17?
Well, that is by I used to teach filmmaking in one college by said something school. I was an external teacher. I used to
Okay.
go there for a weekend, just teach them film play, screenplay, and stage plays, and also my auntie Elo, when she used to teach at a school in the south, some private school. I
Okay.
used to go help her in her drama class, and
Okay.
me and her will help the students produce a stage play for Christmas or for Easter, those kind of events. So I used to be an independent film teacher
All right.
that taught film and arts and how to make African masks.
Okay.
So yeah, I was featured on television a few years ago for the Africa Day, about 10, 15 years ago,
Wow.
for on Global, Short TV, and CBC when we're doing it downtown by the Glenbow Museum,
All right.
where I was teaching students how to make African masks. I still have the video here somewhere,
That's cool.
and it was really quite interesting. So I've done all this stuff the art industry. It's kind of my passion. I can't do an art job. You put me in a setting where I have the same thing over and over again every day, the same thing. I'll go nuts.
Yeah, I can
You know,
imagine.
this is what you do, different things every day. You're either producing, editing, writing, doing something that is fun. I love fun stuff. I can't do monotony. So yes, again, I typically would take some interns from SATE because that's one of my alma mater, right?
Okay.
And let me give you the story about our community. There's this girl that called me last year, in March of last year, because she was graduating in April, and she needed the 2 weeks of internship in order for her to graduate.
Yeah.
So they gave her my name and said there's a producer that used to be here, that used to go to school here, and she has a production company. They do a lot of stuff, and you are from Nigeria, and we think she's from Nigeria, and maybe that would be a good fit, because she couldn't get anybody to take her. She wrote a global CP, all of them, nobody called her to come just to do an internship, not paying you.
That's
So they told her, go to FINA. She's taken a few of our students before. Go there and do your internship. There's 2 weeks. So she calls me. And she said, oh, they told me to call you. I want to do my internship. I can't graduate if I don't do my internship because it's part of the curriculum, right? And I said, okay, sure, you can come. When do you want to start? He goes, okay, let me get back to you tomorrow. I said, okay.
Mm-hmm.
The next day she called me and she goes, on the phone, I've never met her. She sent me an email, an application that the school gave her, because the school gave the form for me to endorse it and say, yes, she's doing her internship. And at the end of that, I'll write the report that she did the internship. She was really good. Give her the references that the school needs and the report. So the next day she calls me and says, so how much are you going to pay me? I'm not even kidding. This is a true story. And she's excuse me. She goes, oh, I'm an international student and I need money to pay my rent, to pay my stuff, to do this, and I need a job that can pay me. I say, it's because you've heard my accent and you think I'm a Nigerian. You're the one who called me. And I'm here to teach you. My job was to teach you. And the funny thing is, I have done internship. I chose to do my internship at a small TV station decades ago. Just a decade and a half, about 19 years ago, almost 2 decades ago. And I chose to go to that small TV station solely because when you are in a smaller production setting, you can do almost everything. They let you do almost everything.
Multitasking.
I did switching, I did live shows, I did interviews. Like in Lethbridge, CTV Lethbridge, small TV station. Most of our production is around the west of Lethbridge, especially in the spring.
Yeah.
Right. So by the time people were there with me, the TV station decided I should do a month. They didn't want to let me go because I was so excited to so much that instead of a 2 weeks internship, I did 1 month. And the school allowed it because they wrote to the school and said, oh, we have this project that Fina is working on. So I'll be going on a Friday. I'll be coming back to Calgary on a Friday. Monday morning, I'm back in Lethbridge. And we'll work. And it was so exciting. And that's what the girl missed.
Wow.
Because when you're working in a small setting, small production company, you're doing so much. You're putting in, they let you touch the big production. They let you do everything. They let you get involved. But big TV, when I was with CTV, Calgary here, they wouldn't even let me enter the switching room. And when you enter, you're standing there or sitting there.
Just watching.
You're just watching in awe. I used to watch Daryl Jans do the news and all that, and then I go into the control room and I'm watching the producer, the director directing the news, and I'm just like, wow, this is so interesting. But they wouldn't let me touch any of those buttons. But in a smaller station, I did all of that.
Yeah.
I taught everything, I did reporting, like every hands-on. And so when she said this to me, I just told her, I said, listen, I can't pay you. We're not part of my budget. If you don't want to come, maybe you can find another company that will take you and pay you. And that was, I said, good luck.
Wow.
And that was the end of it.
Wow.
But you see, she missed a lot because all the interns that have interned with me, I am motivated more to teach them things that they may not even teach in film school.
Yeah.
In broadcasting that's cool.
At least an hands-on, relationship, working hand in hand,
Yes.
which I
Yes.
think, the major problem we have, it's a lot of people, they want to fly before they learn to crawl.
And it's a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing. Because when I was doing my last feature film in 2012, when I was doing that feature film, I put in the audition. Facebook wasn't that big yet, but I put it on Facebook too. Do you know who contacted me the most?
Oh,
White parents.
oh,
White parents, they called me and said, please, can my son come and intern with you? You don't need to pay him. I'll drop him off every morning and I'll pick him up at night.
mm,
I had like 4 parents with that. White parents.
wow.
But the Nigerian ones, when I call them, come and help me volunteer for one day. Come and help me at least PA for me or something. Oh, how much are you going to pay me? You don't know how to PA. You have never PA'd before.
So
You've never worked
pay you.
set. I am asking you to come. Not just are you helping me, you're helping yourself. Now you can put it on your resume. I say, yes, I've worked on a film set. I have done PA. I've done script supervising.
All that, yeah.
I've done that continuity. I've done continuity. I've held the clapperboard. These are actual jobs. And once you put those on your resume, it helps you, even if you want to be in the film industry or not.
Yes.
It adds to your resume. It adds more flesh to your resume. Our community want people to pamper them. And you know what happened? After my movie premiered, it was sold out. People came to the door, and because it was sold out before the day. 550-seater theater sold out.
Wow.
Within 2 weeks. People are so excited. It's the first film ever written and produced in Canada by an African.
That's huge.
First ever Nigerian movie to be produced in Canada. I got so many awards from it. And the Ghanaian ambassador gave me an award. Actually invited me to Ottawa.
Wow.
Because I put one Ghanaian person in the movie.
That's what we're talking about.
Because there was one Ghanaian person in the movie, the ambassador was very impressed. Our Nigerian ambassador gave me an award. Invited me to Ottawa. They screened it. The embassy, the High Commission in Ottawa, premiered it for me in Ottawa. That's because the ambassador studied broadcasting and film. So he appreciated. If you go on YouTube, you'll see him. He was at the premiere. Anyway, the movie premiere was sold out. I had to do 3 more screenings in Calgary. All 3 sold out. Because people were saying, oh, this is so good. Oh, you feel bad. You could see Calgary, this is so nice. Because you can relate.
Yes, to environment.
You can relate now. You feel like you're part of the film. You're part of the movie. You can see yourself in it. And then they were saying, why didn't you invite us? I said, I put a public notice for people to come, help, volunteer, work. In fact, if you experience, I will hire you, pay you. If you're not, you may have to.
I thought we have Sexy Henry from New York saying hello, and Irene said, I have not seen the movie. So Sexy Henry said, what's the movie's name? So it seems you might have to probably bring the movie back from the archives for people to see.
I know, right? Many people have been saying, want to see this movie. The thing is, I had sold the movie to a network in Nigeria years ago. They bought the right to the movie, but the right has since expired. So I have the right again. So I think what I might have to do is put the movie on Vimeo or YouTube or somewhere. Just I mean, it's the first one ever in Canada, and we were featured on CBC and the Calgary Sun back then, and it was really exciting. And because Calgary had never seen anything like that. You should have seen downtown. See all the limos, all the actors. Some of them came from the US. They had their own limos. They say, this is the real red carpet. It was beautiful. But the same people that I was begging to be a part of it were now asking me, why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you invite us? I said, I had public notice audition. I'm saying, come audition or come be a part of it. Come do this. Even come be an intern. Come learn how to be in to work on a film set. You know, Hollywood. If you want to work on a Hollywood film set, there's a few things you have to do in order to be able to be allowed to work on a real professional film set.
Yeah.
You have to have what they call set etiquette.
Exactly.
It's a course that you must take.
I did the course.
Mhm.
I did the course.
I did the course while I was in film school.
Mm.
While I was in film school, I was required to have that course. It wasn't part of the curriculum, but because they send us to movie set to work, because Hollywood used to film a lot in Calgary. And because of that, I've worked in over 20 Hollywood films.
That's huge.
In the last 20 or 22 years. And I was in a few of them. Now, sometimes you only see my hand. At the end of the day, after all the filming of the whole day, you see my hand. Then the one that I really showed was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids series that I filmed like 23 years ago. Because the first thing I did when I came to Canada was find anything that has to do with film, registered as an actor, paid and joined all the acting unions. And I started learning how to go about it. I did, but you have to volunteer.
Yeah.
That was when CSIS was new. Then I volunteered to have New TV. New TV within the University of Calgary.
Yeah.
I volunteered there for decades. And, you know, I've moved on because I've outgrown it a long time ago. But I did my dues. I gave my time. I learned even from people that experienced it. And I learned from them because there's so many things to learn as you go, because you can't stop learning. You have to keep going because the day you stop learning is the day you die.
Exactly.
I learned from a 2-year-old.
That we learn every day. And
Every day.
yes, the key word from all of this is that, you know, we must learn to start, you know, from the beginning, from the basics. And
So you don't
yes, and even starting from basics at times will require that you do things for free. You do pro bono. You commit yourself to want to learn the art, because I understand people want to pay bills, but there's a place of sacrifice.
Yes.
If you want to pursue your passion. You know, because opportunity are always coming around, and then it has been said that success is when opportunity meets preparation. But
absolutely.
Those days of sacrifice that you paid, they are paying off. Those days, I've seen you with videos for One Deco in Calgary. You know, all of them Flavors, all of them Bobby.
And that music video is coming out pretty soon, eh? That music video is coming out this week and or next week.
Yeah. So
because that was kind of a surprise too, right?
Yeah. See, those guys, they are huge, you know, in the industry. Not only Nigeria, but around the world. Nigerian music, movies is making waves.
Yes.
Now, for them to come to Calgary and then, you know what, I want you to handle my project. That speaks volumes, because it's a testament to what you've been doing. And that is what I want our viewers to take away from today's discussion. You know, one of the ways in which you can be there for ourselves as a community is to learn to give, to learn to support, to learn to collaborate. And in such cases, you might have to do it, you know, free. You know, even without paying you. You have to have the passion. And then money always follow the passion.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. You see, back then, and I think now, if you want to work in Hollywood in Alberta, let's say they bring a film to produce here, which they do all the time, because especially when we have a very good incentive, film grant.
Yeah.
Because the city and the province usually will give film grants to production companies to come and produce here, because they will hire local, right?
Yes.
That's the incentive. When they do come, they can't pick someone who has never been on a film set.
Oh.
You can't be on a set, because there's so many things that can go wrong.
Yeah.
When an amateur who has never experienced a film set,
Go on, say.
so many things go wrong. So because of that, they require you to have volunteered for at least a few local films or productions, and it could be music videos, it could be production of a series or a film or anything, like it, you know. And then you have to take that course, the set etiquette,
Yes.
because people can sue them if,
Yeah.
let's say, you trip on a cable
Mm-hmm.
or you trip on a light or a light falls on you. They can be sued for a lot of money because this film business is big
Huge.
business.
Yeah.
They don't mess with lawsuits. They
Mm-hmm.
don't. So they
Yeah.
make sure that everybody that is going to work on the film set is proficient,
Yes.
right? And the
Honestly.
work is safe,
Mm.
right? Because
Yes.
some people work. You see, there's a Washington on the set. You are
That
so
is
tired.
wrong.
You trip over a table because you want to go and shake your hand, and you can't do that on a film set.
At all. At
You
all.
cannot do that.
Yeah.
You can't see a film, a big Hollywood blockbuster star,
And you
and
go and start running after.
you can't even go near them. But if you don't know the set etiquette,
Yeah.
you won't know what to do. It will just instinct will just make you do that. So they require certain things in
Mm.
order for you to work on a film set. If you don't have it, they will not hire you. And I want to add also, when I first came and I was really looking to work in the film industry, this was that two decades ago now. And I went and I started volunteering, like I said. I don't know, I'm getting are you getting it or not?
No.
I'm hearing feedback on my earphone. Oops. Let me see.
Let me see. Maybe I can reduce the volume. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Should be better now. Should be better now.
Yeah, I muted my Instagram.
Okay.
Okay, so basically, I was now researching. This was when we didn't have YouTube, Facebook, or anything like that. But I mean, I'll go to different places and I'll take flyers. I'll go to on 17th Avenue. I used to work at 17th Avenue Southwest.
Yeah.
You know, I'll walk because I used to live in the Southwest then. So I'll walk around there, and everywhere I go, I'll be asking people, how do I get in the film? I'll go to like production companies or advertising companies, and I'll ask them how they will now give me resources. Okay, call these people, and then casting agencies, and I call them and I registered. And the thing about this casting agency is they give you only one shot.
Yes.
Nigerians need to understand that, or Africans in general need to. They don't give you, oh, sorry, my alarm didn't go off that morning, so I was late. Film industry will not tolerate.
You don't have the time.
No, absolutely. They don't care if you are the most talented person.
Mm.
That time is more valuable to them because time is money for them. They are renting equipment, and each day the film company can pay millions of dollars in rental of the camera, the lights, the sounds, the crew. So they don't take kindly to your extras or crew members not doing what they're supposed, not pulling their weights. So I now went and I started volunteering, and they started teaching me, training me. Some of the things I didn't learn in Nigeria, even though I was in Nollywood in Nigeria, and then it wasn't called Nollywood.
Yeah.
Okay. It was just NTA. We're producing film, made for TV films, right? Drama series, all those kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So and soap operas and stuff. And so I never learned those. So, but when I came here, I now learned the proper way of doing these things, and I learned that. Okay, you need to have set etiquette. You can't, go talk to an actor. You can't do this. You can't do that, and you have to show up 15 minutes at least before you're supposed to be there, so that you prep yourself, get ready, get the talk for the day and all that, and the mission for the day. It's a lot that goes into producing and anything, producing any projects like film, documentary, music video, TV series, all those things. It's a lot of work that people do not understand. Anything behind the scenes.
Yes.
What you see on the screen is just a little bit
small.
But many things behind the scenes. Yeah. Months and months and years of work goes into one project.
Wow.
And so when you see it, you're like blown away by, oh my God, this is so good. This is so nice. How come it's so good? You have no idea what the producers
It's
have
going
done
behind.
and the people that invested their time, either by volunteering or actually working or giving or just doing stuff within that project.
Thank you
So,
so
so I
much.
used to, because of that, I used to, after being in the being casted for extras so many times, the casting company, now I became their go-to person
To
for
get
black actors.
adults, yeah.
So because of that, when they need, like, let's say 20 black actors for extras for like scenes where they'll be in the bar or in the restaurant or on the streets or something, they'll say, Fina, usually they call me less than 24 hours before, Fina, we need 20 black actors tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. I'll be like, oh, okay. Back then, no social media.
Social
I'll just
media.
get on the phone and be calling. I'll be
Young people
calling them. Everybody, I have my address book,
list
contact
of
book. Yeah, address book or contact book, whatever you call it now. And I'll just be going through. Hey, I'll call someone. Hey, do you know anybody who's 20 to 30 years old? I now had the actual contact based on age and and all those characteristics they always
yeah.
do. So, I've been in, like I said many times, I've been on top of the camera, beside the camera, behind the camera, in
And
front of
from
the camera, under the camera. I've been all around the camera.
mm, mm.
I love the camera.
Wow.
So,
Wow. This is a lot. This is a lot. This is just like a two-part series back to back on the Global Talkative series with
you call it talkative, I'm a talkative. So
yeah, with Fina Brooks, and it's been amazing. We've been, chatting for almost 2 hours now, and I guess a lot of people want to go and eat dinner now. So thank you so much for coming on this show, and I appreciate the good work you're doing in the community for supporting your own and every other person. Testimonies from all left and right and center say, oh, she's an amazing woman, she's good, and you know what? People need to know you or to understand you or to be with you before they can talk about you. Many of times people don't know you. See, you don't judge a book by the cover.
by its cover.
You have to read.
That's right.
And
That's right.
understand
You
the
have to
content.
actually flip through and read. That's how you get to understand the book and actually read it. So, and
So
I also know, I also want to do this. There's a few people, not too many people I respect in Calgary. When I say respect, I'm really proud of you and what you do for the community.
thank
I'm
you.
proud of the passion, the zeal, and what you bring to our community. You bring something so big we have not even seen the tip of the iceberg yet.
Thank
And
you.
I'm liking what I see, and I'm just so proud of you.
Thank
I'm
you so much.
so proud of you, and I'm just honored to be here. In fact, I don't even know it's been almost 2 hours.
Yeah,
I
2 hours. Almost 2 hours. Yeah.
I keep talking.
Thank you so much. I can't take the honor alone. It's been support of my wife, my son, and my daughter. Many a times I have to leave the house. Like you said, I came in about 5 years ago. I landed myself in the hands of a fraudster agent. And then I started have to pay to join, pay to be a member, and they started asking to pay. And I realized along the line, I got to know ACTRA. I called them, they said, you didn't pay to be a member of ACTRA, but I've got some credit to be featured. And eventually, I found Paddy Falconer Agency, a wonderful woman. She's late now. She passed away about a year and a half ago. Wonderful woman. I joined the agency, and under 2 weeks, I got my first role in a series in America.
Yes.
Like, wow. And that was my first time experiencing a real movie set. I was like, wow.
It's so different from what we have back home. It's overwhelmingly different. Overwhelmingly different. Because what you see, even a small production, you'd be surprised. All the stuff is like everywhere. And no wonder when you see the final version, final project, you'll be like, wow. you know.
It's
So
amazing.
yeah, you're doing a marvelous, a
Thank you so
phenomenal
much.
work,
Thank you so much.
and thank you on behalf of our entire community of Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon, Congo, all the African countries.
Thank you so
On
much.
our behalf, I say thank you and keep on keeping on and keep on doing what you're doing. You're doing such a great job.
Thank you so much.
Nobody else can do it better than you. So
Thank you so
I'm
much.
very proud of you.
Yeah, so our audience, come on Saturday. I'm having Joel Senak, the global news anchor. You know, this platform is not meant for Africans alone. It's a global platform. We've had guests from Birmingham. We've had guests from Nigeria, guests from Ghana. We're going to be having guests from China. You know, all over the world. People coming to share their experiences and then to rub minds and to let people see, okay, you are not in this alone. We're in this together. And
Yes,
I keep saying
absolutely.
this, we can either be our brother's keeper or our brother's killer. If you're not
Yes,
keeping your
I'm
brother,
going to be the killer.
so
Yeah, but the fact that you are the face of it and you are doing it, you are an African. That's why we're so proud because
thank you
you're
so much.
one of us that is, this is your initiative.
Thank you so
And
much.
for it to be initiated by one of us, we're proud of that.
Thank you
Because
so
that's
much.
how an empire is supposed to be built,
Thank you so
right?
much.
You're
Yeah,
building an empire.
yeah. Thank you so much. And to our audience, the story, the movie that Fina talked about, please go to our Facebook page or your Instagram page, or call her or send an information to get to know more about this. If you have to do what we call in Africa, wakapas, please do it.
Yes, so even
You are building
Wakapas,
a profile.
Wakapas is very important. Yes,
Yes,
so
you're building a profile for yourself. If you have to do just to hold a cup of water or to just hold a paper, do it.
yes.
You might not get to do play a lead role, but any role you get to
Yeah,
play, do it.
thank you.
It's all counting.
I got my glass of wine. Cheers,
Thank you
everybody.
to Mr. Brooks, you know, for supporting our community. It's an
Mhm.
amazing man. It's an amazing man.
Yes, he is amazing.
And
He's an
please,
amazing
thank you
dude.
for the support they're
Yeah,
giving
I'm
you.
so blessed.
I appreciate you so
Mhm.
much. Thank
Yeah,
you.
because without our families, we can't even do all these things,
Yeah, yes, yes,
right?
yes, yes, yes.
Michelle. Oh, Irene says Michelle will do work. Of course, my
So we
baby
do
boy
Waka
will do it.
Pass. Yeah.
Oh,
Mr.
yes, so
Mrs. Yinka Marcos said, thank you, Fina. God bless you. Mrs. Marcos, thank you for
of
tuning
course,
in.
yes.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Abudu Yemisi
Yes.
from Nigeria, thank you. Tomi Adremi Ajayi, Leah Nicholson, thank you. Sophia Opon, thank you. Nevin Dominic, Jonas Ikoro, thank you.
Somebody
Frank,
says, what is Wakapas?
yeah, thank you so much. You
Wakapas
know,
is
Ikoro,
extra.
thank you
When
so
you're an
much.
extra
Sexy
on the
Henry,
set.
thank you so much. We appreciate you. We love you. And thank you for hanging out with me on the Global Talkative series. I'm still Henry
Yes.
Ajayi. Bye for now. Thank you all.
Bye, guys. Love you
Thank
guys.
you.
And cheers
Yeah,
to all of you.
yeah.
Cheers.